All right, let's dive right in. We're tackling a really big question today. In a world that feels noisier and more chaotic than ever, how on earth do you find news you can actually trust?
No, seriously, just think about it for a second. Every single day, you're just bombarded with headlines, notifications, opinions, all of it. It can feel completely impossible to sort the real information from all that noise. So, where do you even begin?
Well, it turns out there's a fantastic guide called the Ubuntu News Credibility Charter. Now, you might hear that it was originally developed for really challenging political environments, places like Ethiopia and East Africa. But here's the thing, its principles are totally universal. It gives us a simple but really powerful blueprint for what good, responsible media is supposed to look like.
Okay, so the charter is built on three main pillars, and we're going to start with the first one, which is, honestly, the absolute bedrock of everything. Integrity and accuracy. I mean, this is where all trust begins and where it can all fall apart.
So the very first rule here kind of flies in the face of our breaking news obsession. It's all about prioritizing being right over being first. Why? Because trust is built on truth. And, well, verifying the truth, that takes time.
This all leads to an idea the charter calls slow journalism. It's about taking a breath. Responsible news outlets take that extra time to cross-check their sources and really dig in to understand the full context. Think about it. One mistake can absolutely torpedo your credibility, but a history of accuracy, that's how you build a real legacy.
All right, another huge one, separating fact from opinion. It sounds super simple, right? But this is where so much confusion comes from. A news source you can trust has to be crystal clear about which is which, what's objective reporting and what's someone's personal take on it. And the difference is actually pretty straightforward. News, that's the basic facts. Who, what, when, where. Opinion, that's about why it all matters or what we should do about it. Look, both are valuable, but they have to be kept in completely separate, clearly labeled buckets.
And the benefit here is just so clear. This isn't about hiding opinions at all. It's about being honest with you, the audience. And just like the charter says, when people know exactly which bucket they're reading from, that honesty is what builds a real, lasting relationship based on trust.
And this whole pillar wraps up with a key idea, embracing transparency. Because let's be real, nobody's perfect. Trust isn't built on pretending you are. It's built on being honest enough to admit what you don't know, and having the integrity to openly and quickly correct your mistakes when you make them.
So, once you have that foundation of integrity, the second pillar builds right on top of it. Fairness and balance. And this is all about making a commitment to serve everyone, to build bridges, not just preach to the choir or cater to one single viewpoint.
Now, this next rule clears up a huge misconception about what balance actually means. It doesn't mean giving equal airtime to a proven fact and a blatant falsehood. No, it means being fair to the truth, while also giving competing, legitimate viewpoints a chance to be heard, even if they challenge the story we might want to believe.
And this leads to a really crucial difference in approach. You see, so much of media today focuses on conflict by just giving a megaphone to the loudest, most extreme voices in the room. The charter argues a responsible outlet does the opposite. It actively tries to amplify the constructive, and often much quieter, majority, because that reflects a much more accurate picture of reality.
And of course, you can't have fairness without looking in the mirror first. The charter really hammers this home. Good journalism requires constant self-assessment. It's about having the discipline to fight your own biases day in and day out.
And this leads to the kind of tough question the charter wants journalists, and hey, all of us really, to ask ourselves. It's a really powerful gut check to see if our principles of fairness are being applied consistently to everyone.
Okay, and that brings us to our third and final pillar, responsible communication. This one is so important. It's all about recognizing that words have real power. The words we choose can either pour gasoline on a fire, or they can help build a bridge to peace.
This quote just perfectly captures the spirit of this pillar. It totally reframes moderation. It's not weakness. It's a powerful kind of leadership. I mean, think about it. In a world where everyone is shouting, a calm, thoughtful voice is the one that really stands out. It's the one that can actually lower the temperature.
Now, this doesn't mean you shy away from tough subjects. Not at all. It just means you have to handle them responsibly. The language you use is a tool, and it has to be wielded with incredible precision, especially when the goal is to avoid stirring up anger or even violence.
Just look at these two headlines. The one on the left, that's a broad, fiery accusation that could spark conflict in an instant. But the one on the right reports the exact same event with precision, sticking only to the facts we know for sure. That little change in wording, that's not just about being picky with words. It can literally save lives.
So these are the practical actions, right? It's about avoiding those broad, dehumanizing labels. It's about refusing to push conspiracy theories or revenge stories. It's about resisting that temptation to use sensationalism just to get clicks. It really all boils down to one simple thing: treating your audience like intelligent adults.
So let's pull this all together. You've got integrity, fairness, and responsibility. These three pillars give us an incredibly powerful framework, a real checklist for what we should be looking for in our news sources.
And across those three pillars, the whole Ubuntu News Charter boils everything down to just 10 simple, powerful principles. This isn't some crazy, complicated rulebook. It's a straightforward, actionable guide to earning and, more importantly, keeping public trust.
And really, this is the end goal. In a world that is just saturated with noise and anger, what people are really craving is a voice that is calm, reasoned, and constructive. That's the real service that good, responsible media is meant to provide.
And that leaves us with one final big thought. This charter, it isn't just for journalists. It's a tool for every single one of us. So just imagine, what would happen to our media landscape if we all started demanding this from the news we consume? What if this was our standard?